Sonical to show up? For what?
That's back here. Larry was just saying. I know. I believe it was one time. Had it over to that six-pack was every Thursday. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, funeral, yes.
Yeah.
What?
I think they rerouted it.
The building's about 200 feet away from that.
Pardon?
200 feet away.
Good, very good.
I see they got, did you get the siding on it?
Not yet, not yet, I can fill you in on that one. Are we ready? We're ready, red's good, right? Red's on? Red is on, okay. Let the, Town of Sullivan Planning Board meeting for the month of April 2023 commence. Minutes have been circulated to the board members, and we'd entertain any additions or corrections.
I would like to go on the record to make an amendment to the minutes that Mr. Taylor came to the meeting. He was not on the agenda, but the board offered him the opportunity to speak.
And he spoke.
And he spoke. We have to make an amendment, motion to approve the amendment.
Is there any other comments?
No.
Okay, you have a motion approved?
So moved.
Subject to the amendment.
Okay,
Do we need a second to that?
yes, someone.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The agenda tonight is one item, and it's Bridgeland Auto. And we're waiting for Bridgeland Auto. And if they don't come, we have an ending meeting pretty quick. But we do have, some of the board members have a question here, some questions about Dollar General and how we're coming here. And Larry's here with us, and kind of so we can go through this, whether we got some little confusion or not. John, do you want to pick up on that, or?
Sure. Just, we see that the project is nearing completion. And it looks like, the lights are on, looks like it's stocked, looks like there's activity. I know there's a lot of site work to go in, there's issues. But I'm just concerned, I'm talking to Larry about the elevation in the building is gonna be constructed per the approval of this board. And we went through a lot showing canopies and doors and colors and everything. So I was just concerned that the construction documents didn't reflect what we talked about on the board. But Larry has shown me, and he's looked at it, that they do. And that everything we talked about, I looked at around those drawings, they just haven't finished it. So I just want to make sure that the board understands that certificate of occupancy should not be issued until that's done. And I don't know where, you're saying you're having problems with this construction manager, or what's going on?
Yeah, they've gone through 3 construction project superintendents. They keep shipping them off to other stores. The first guy does the structure, the second guy does the interior build out, the third guy does the exterior, and now they're all off at different stores now. I don't even have a contact. I actually tried contacting the developer today, and my email got kicked back. I tried calling, the number no longer works. So, and this is the developer, Birchwalder. So I'm gonna tomorrow get into that a little more and see if I can get a contact.
Where's the outfit in Binghamton? Are they still involved? The engineering and the,
Yeah, they had nothing to do with.
no, but I mean, could they facilitate a contact for you?
I could try. I mean, there's an email with.
They always were very responsive to us when we were, yeah.
There's an email I went through with all the contacts on it, so I took the developer first.
Sure. Okay, but we're all on the same page. You got it?
Yeah, I also received a phone call from the state DOT stating that I was not to give a CO until all the road work and drainage. Supposedly the left arrow cannot be applied to the road until the temperature maintains 50 degrees. He had mentioned that the store needs an easement in the culvert because the property line goes into the street, that they actually need an easement to drain the water from their site onto Mr. Benson's site, because that's the way it flows.
Okay.
He was working on that, and then the drainage all ties up on the western side of the store, and then it proceeds to go under the road. And there was a big issue about what to do there with culvert or drain or catch basin or something along that line.
Okay,
But nothing will be final until all the site stuff, all the building stuff, all the stormwater stuff is all done.
Have they acknowledged that they know there's more building?
I have no contact. I did give a sheet of paper to the last project manager listing everything that you were just talking about.
Okay.
to, just procedurally, is there such a thing as a provisional CO? I mean, how
You
can
can
they,
do a temporary.
temporary.
I mean,
Temporary.
can you do that?
Yeah, but I would not, board member, I hope you don't do that.
But the DOT said not even.
I would not do that.
Well, no, I mean, you gotta probably pick and choose what you, but if they, all of a sudden you can't get a hold of some material or something, you know, but they, somehow, you still gotta maintain leverage at some point, I would think.
Well, they need to tell you that, and need to give you dates and all that kind of stuff, so
Right.
you need to know all that stuff. I would
Are
try
you
the
comfortable with
architect. See.
You're good?
Call our office, I would look into it and find out.
Okay,
Thanks.
thanks, Larry. Mr. Senical,
Sir.
refresh my memory, am I close in pronunciation?
Perfect.
Okay.
Bridgeland Auto Workers.
Yes, sir. Okay, tell the board here what you got in mind.
So we're going to, we want to expand our repair facility, going from a six bay shop, which is facilitating somewhere around 1,700 car sales a year, which is about half the size of the city. So we're gonna go from that to a 12 bay shop with a drive-on lift, and have a, take the existing shop that I have, and that'll be a drive-in for customers, so they'll be able to drive in like a franchise dealership. And, you know, aesthetically, you know, ideally, you know, it's a prefab building. But, you know, I wanted to have the appearance, I don't want it to have the appearance of an addition. So I am making sure that I go 4-foot block all the way around it. So aesthetically, it looks good, and and, you know, the roof pitch is gonna be very minimal, so that it doesn't look like an addition to a building. It'll look like part of the actual building, so.
Okay. We're not changing any entrances or needs for additional customer parking or anything else.
Most of this is internal work that we're doing on the cars that we're selling. So it's not really customer work, it's really our own work.
Right, where are you gonna pick up the extra space for all that parking that's there now?
I bought the old, the building next door to me, which was a radio station at the time. We renovated that whole building, that's a 10-bay detail center at this point, and I got about an acre and a half out back that I cleared rock, and that'll all be paved, as soon as the addition was on the building, so.
Is that part of
But
this?
that's a separate part.
Is that part of this parcel? Or is
No,
that-
this is the building we're putting the addition onto,
Okay.
so just that it'll go from like, this is the building I'm talking about, that I want to clear off from the back. That's already been done.
Did this come in for approval? So if you do parking back here, you're probably gonna have to get another application to do that.
That's a separate parcel, right, Rob?
Right.
That what you're,
Yeah.
It is. The only reason is that, I mean, I will merge these into one unit. Right now, I have a little dispute with my, LaRocca next door, because it was, when I bought the property from the previous owner, there was an adverse possession claim, that he'd been using it for over 10 years. And both owners went to court, and, once they didn't get a immediate decision, or whatever the name for that is, they kind of just put it on ice. So at this point, you know, I tried to, you know, get my property back, and I'm in negotiations with, Mr. LaRocca of buying all the properties on that road right now. So rather than go through all that fight, I'm probably just gonna buy the OTB, and I'll keep buying all the property as far as I can on that road over the next few years. Redevelop it and everything else.
well, I think what we're talking about here is, this is, what we're doing is, this is a special use permit
Yeah.
that is here. And if you're really using another property, you really should meld those together into one property.
And I
Then,
want-
then down the road, you've got other separate properties, you wanna keep them separate, do
Right.
separate things, that's a whole
The problem is when I bought that property, because it was an open and diverse possession claim. on
Yeah,
it,
well,
I had to accept that, as part of the purchase.
Well,
I
it
think
looks like, it looks from this, it looks from, I don't know, if you got one of these, you see this?
Yeah.
It looks like the property line goes right through the building,
It kinda does.
according to this one. These accurate, sir?
No, those are all.
Ah,
No.
not all,
Lesser
correct.
numbers.
So the OTB is directly west of your operation right now, and then you have the property on the west of the OTB property?
At the property, if I'm standing, and not going the direction like that, but if I'm facing my building, I have the property, to the right of OTB, going towards, Lakeport.
What's directly to the left side? Is that your property, just to the left, if you're facing the building?
Yes.
31.
Yep, that's mine.
That's your property?
Correct.
Oh, that is yours.
Oh, so you own all three of those
I
properties?
do.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's
I thought there was property in between, all right.
That's where the car's gonna go.
Mhm, yeah.
What is that? Yeah, these are the cars.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, I just saw these here.
All right, so what we're looking at, and you're here because you've got a special use permit you got in 2014, then you upgraded it, or you had an amendment in 2017. Let's make sure that we're in agreement here. And we've got, this is the map that I'm showing here, that's the original map, correct?
Looks like it, yeah.
With all the frontage you got, you should have one, you got one right there somewhere, right?
Frank,
No,
It's one is
I got it.
somewhere right there.
Frank, what was the first year that the special use reference finalized?
2014,
And then 17?
and then there was amended in 17,
Yeah,
and
they
we're
were,
back, and we're really just amending it now, but the reason we're amending it is that he's increasing the building that size,
so this is the property.
okay? Now, in 2017, where those four cars are kind of on an embankment like it, right? A berm, that was eliminated, right? Wasn't that?
That was eliminated.
That was
yes.
eliminated, and you've now parked vehicles there.
Yeah, that was gonna eat up way too many parking spots for me to do that.
Okay. Then there was a canopy on the building that you removed
Correct,
on the front, on that front entrance.
correct. We were going to add that.
All right, that circular area there, that exists with some shrubbery or whatever.
There is, it's just to the right a little bit, but yeah.
Yes,
it's
right?
there, yeah.
But now, what about the rest of that around the building
Yeah.
and the front of the building?
That's all done. In the front of the building, it's all landscaped out.
Okay.
Yep, so that's all done. The only thing I don't have is, it looks like here where you see the entrance where it says concrete there. That obviously is all sidewalk, so that's, with benches and whatnot, so.
Okay, board, are you okay with everything there? All right, okay. So we come to today, and all we're doing, we're putting this on. I think, Mr. Andino, check us here if we're incorrect, but this needs to get county, because we're taking action. It's gotta go to county for their approval, but that's pretty boiling. They will come back without that on that, but that's gonna take 30 days. So, and since we're gonna be 30 days, it's up to the board here to decide whether you want a hearing on, expanding that. And if you say yes, then we schedule one, but he's gonna have to come back. We can't approve this tonight. We've gotta wait 1 month, because we've gotta wait till county gives us some response. Okay, basically, you can kind of read between the lines, or we don't have an issue with what you do.
I'm gonna get moving.
Huh?
Is it okay if I get moving?
Well, that's, technically, what's moving?
Just getting the groundwork done. I got them all lined up to go. I'm not looking to put the building up. That'll be a month and a half before I even get into that. just want to at least get the footings in and everything else, I had all the boring done, all the soil boring, everything.
Larry, what do you think? You got, if you got
Yeah.
sufficient information to
Yeah,
Larry?
I got the engineered plans for the footing and foundation of that.
You're good with that?
If the board-
Where is the
Go on
board?
that back.
Board's good with that?
This is it's his property right next door anyway, so
Pardon?
there's no impact visually.
No.
Yeah, there's-
Property is his right next door, I think it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see why.
So we don't have a problem with
In the
that.
back.
And
Okay.
didn't we have a public hearing when he initially did it?
Oh,
There was really no response to that, so, I mean.
Right, whatever you're gonna have here, public isn't gonna see this.
No, it's all that.
That, I mean, somebody's gonna realize all of a sudden the building's bigger, but they're not gonna see anything. No, you're
Maybe.
not getting on to changing your entrances or doing anything else with that.
How much land are they disturbing?
There's so many cars there.
They don't need a SWIP or,
You ever see it?
it's less than an acre.
Yes.
And what are the dimensions of the building?
The dimensions of the building are about 80, I wanna say it's about 80 feet wide,
80 by 100?
by 100 foot wide.
That's the final.
Well, it says 84 on the plans, or
I wanna say it
84
was
by.
8,900 square feet roughly, and some change.
Okay, we go to that? All right,
So are you gonna have a motion?
we need to do a short form secret here. We can do it next month.
Yeah, we can do that. You can make a motion to declare the board lead agency, and it's an unlisted action, and then you can complete the seeker once you get county referral back.
I didn't see one. Did you fill out short form secret?
You
Someone?
should have
Did-
one.
It's in the application.
Yeah, I got it, right there. Okay.
So the meeting, we're gonna do next month, or?
Yeah, you'll have to come back next month, and then we're basically, we're just giving you the blessing. Yeah, and then we're gonna call this the updated, this is gonna be the updated plan. We really ought to have a plan. We ought to have a plan that eliminates what you eliminated in 2014.
I was gonna actually get that done, actually, as a matter of fact, the company that did it for me lost his drafter. So LRJ Engineering, the drafter is up and put on there for 16 years, so I was up against the deadline trying to beat this meeting here. So I
But maybe you got a month's time, you might be able
clean
to
that up. I can get
clean that up.
I can do that.
Because what you really want, always you want to file is your latest and greatest. This is what you're working on. If you can amend this 20 times, alright?
What,
Yeah.
just one more question. So what are you doing for drainage here with the water that's gonna be coming off the roof?
This is the water that comes off the roof. You'll have, we'll have underground going to, pipe. I have a catch basin here. I'm gonna add a catch basin back here. The water pools in back, and it'll take it back out to the.
Everything goes to the swamp, right?
So we'll just add a catch basin here, but I will tube these underground to the catch basin, the water.
Is that
Water
what
For the roof
the
drain.
existing building does?
The existing building,
Yes.
no, no, it does not go underground. The existing building has gutters on the side, but it's a low roof line. It doesn't seem to pool any water, but over here I will, since I got the parking lot ripped up, I'll get it all done legit. So it'll all be underground, there'll be no water. I don't want the icing.
I think on the initial approval, everything had to be sloped to the rear and go to the swamp.
Wetlands.
Which it all everything's pushed to the back, but it does pool up a little bit, so we're gonna fix that.
Anything? Okay, have a motion to schedule a public hearing for next.
No, I thought we were gonna waive that.
Not to waive the public hearing.
Yes.
We'll waive it and just, basically just come back.
I'll make the motion.
No second.
Well, there's really not much motion to make at this
Go
point.
ahead and do it for lead agency.
Do you wanna, you
Yeah,
do a
lead
motion
agency.
to lead agency and it's an
But we
unlisted
can leave
action?
that, we can
Yeah.
put that in the approval.
Yeah,
Very much.
Larry,
Can I have approval to issue a footing foundation permit?
okay, let's do that. That we can.
Make that as part of the motion, or make it a
Okay, do
separate
the lead
motion?
agency
Separate.
and approval to get started with footers. Basic groundwork.
Yeah.
What Larry interpreted with basic groundwork is.
So you're doing a secret tonight or no?
So,
No,
you can start it, but you don't have to finish it, or you can hold it till next month. I mean, I'd recommend you at least declare yourself lead agency and it's an unlisted action.
all right, do we have that motion? Who's
Yeah,
made?
I made the motion to,
Paul made it.
yeah.
Paul made it and John seconded.
John seconded?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
So just one thing on the drainage, if you're gonna be updating these plans to show this, if you could just show, your drainage facilities and where you're gonna tie in. You know, you could add that for next month as well.
Well, we can do a separate motion. for
Yeah.
the start of work.
We put that in the lead agent, that's in the lead agency.
Yep.
And we aren't gonna do the seeker until next month.
Okay.
No hearing, no hearing.
Yeah, so this will show exactly what you're gonna have post build out.
Yeah.
It should, so.
Okay,
Thanks, everybody, I appreciate you.
Yep, yep.
see, what day we got here? Rose?
Oh, next month, then, huh?
It would be the 2nd of May.
May second. All right. Dave, do you have anything you want to share here?
No,
Okay,
not yet.
all right.
Second.
Can we have a motion here to adjourn the meeting?
I'm sorry.
May second.
Yes.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The meeting is